Welcome to the series Microsoft Access for Historians. In this next video, we make a little bit more complex table. This is the one that we created in the earlier video with only 3 variables. And we go to edit it again. So see that we can just open it and close it without any problem. So if we want to edit, there's 3 different ways. We can just go here, Design View. But we can also have the table open and go with View, and then just go back, and then we can use this little symbol here and go. So this is the table, and then we're going to change the design. But be aware that it's not a good idea to change the design once one has started to put data in, because there could be problems with that, and you'll see in a second. So what we're going to do is just explore some more options. And So if we click on the data type, you see that there's some things that happen here. So there's options. So we have short text. And one of the things that we can do is just say that that this is a required field. So yes. And we are talking about person name. So just let's see. So let's change that. Set table. And that's what happens. So we've changed the data, so there could be some problems. So I'm just gonna go with yes and see. So now we change it and we have our Carla person. So let's complete Hansen. And then remember that we put the required into name. So imagine that there's someone we forget to put the name and we want to put Henderson and 24. And then I try to go to the next record, but I can't. You must enter a value in the person name field. We have made a requirement, so Access won't let you continue. Sometimes it's a very good idea to put these things in, so to be sure that you type everything in. But also it could be a help if it's just sounding all the time. In this case, Hannah, and then we're good. So that's one of the things that we can do. Let's do something else. So we've made this. It's here, we just make it to require. And let's just put a new variable. Let's say about the degree average. And then that should be a number. So go here and then select a number. And see that there is a ton of different numbers. And if you're going to use numbers such as age for single years, month, income, things that have no decimals, along integer or integer is fine. But if you want to do something that has commas and decimals, you have to go with something that's called double. So we just select average and we just average over BA. Just close it. And then we're going to, this is problematic, we go to our table, and now we could just fill in here. So, see, now, and let's just go with a 10, something like that. So we have that information. Cool. It's easy. If we were to try, just let me try, if we were to try to do something like that here, you'd see that it wouldn't like it. So this is why it has to be necessarily. It doesn't recognize that there's something called decimal. So we just put it here. Another thing that we can do with a table is to set default values. So imagine that we're going to mix different databases and there's something that could be almost everyone was born in a given year. So let's go with birth year. And that should be a number. And that should be an integer because it's a regular year. Year of birth. Imagine that most of the people are going to be born in, let's say, 1991. So see that the default value of numbers is always 0, but we can actually change it to something else. So we could just write here 1991, and so we close it again and see what happens. So now. See, this is why we shouldn't be messing around with the design of the table afterwards. Now, only the defaults appear later. A good thing with the defaults is Jens Anderson is that we can change it. Oh, it was not 1991, it was 1992. That's fine. So the default value only just helps us to put some information in when we're pretty sure that it's going to be the same for everyone, but still can be changed. So that is another useful thing to do. So if we go again to the numbers, you can see that there's something else that we can do. We could say something about the decimal places. We're not really interested in that. But what we could have, we can have a default value, and then I'm going to just put it again back to 0. But then we could also have a validation rule. So remember, for instance, for years, sometimes, digits get changed away. And if we are pretty sure that all the birth years are going to be around the same dates, we could actually make sure that we don't do anything weird. So imagine that all our people are going to be born between 1990 and 2000. And 2000. So we can just say, so we say higher or equal to 1990 and lower and equal to 2000. There you go. And this is again, we've changed the rules, so there could be something weird going on, and that's why we have to do this at the beginning. Yeah. Oh, of course. Stop. Cancel. Oh, yeah, it went away. We're just gonna try it. It was this that happened. So we can have a default value if we want to make it between 1990 and 2000. Let's go with this, and now we do not have a default value for the year, but just let's try 2 Hans Carlson, and then some numbers, and then we go to the year. So remember, we put from 1990 to 2000. What happens if I say 18? I just made a mistake. No, it cannot be. So I have to go back and say, okay, it has to be at least 1990. That accepts it. Or what happens if I try to do 2001? Again, it doesn't work out. So this is useful, but it could be extremely irritating too. And so this could, for instance, help you avoid problems with digits turn around. So if you want to make sure that everyone is in the 1800s or in the 1900s, this can help you. But also the data is complex sometimes, and there's actual wrong dates in that. So this needs to be used with care. And these are the mostly interesting things that you can do with the table. There's some other things, but you don't need to know them right away. It is important that you, even if we've been messing with the table and checking what happens, then that you do that at the beginning before starting to put data in. Or you use a test table to do this, because otherwise your data is going to be completely messed up with different types of criteria appearing. So playing around, you can use whatever, but then when you start doing the first table, you have to set all the columns, all the fields, all the types, all the requirements from the very beginning. Okay, so that's it for this video.